From the North Country's news station, 7 News Tonight starts now.
Colorful quilts for a good cause. The 23rd annual quilt show wraps up this weekend in Sackett's Harbor. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin sits down to speak up about the progress in Ukraine. But first, the Copenhagen Fire Department calls on the community as they take their next steps in the fight to stay open. Good evening, I'm Zach Grady. Brendan Straub is off this weekend. The decision of whether or not to disband the Copenhagen Fire Department is well on its way to going up for public vote. The department held a community day today where people came out to learn more and had a chance to sign the petition. Here's 7 News reporter Sandy Torres.
This community day for the Copenhagen Fire Department Sunday had people learning about the department and signing this paper. Department officials were happy with the turnout, hearing from people who want to keep the department.
The number of people that's been firemen over the years and their families and who it has affected and who, over the years, it's just mind-boggling to see it go away.
The village board voted to disband the department, but if the petition gets around 27 signatures, it'll force the issue to a public vote. So far, close to 24 people have signed the petition, like village resident Michelle Dickup.
We need this fire department. We need it here. We need all these people. We need to keep this going no matter what's going on, no matter what.
Fire Chief T.J. Williams says if the department doesn't dissolve, some things will change, mainly because surrounding towns have stopped contracting with the department because of questions over its financials.
If everything goes good, I think we'll just be a village department. I mean, right now we're only at 54 calls for the year, which is pretty low.
One reason the village board voted to disband the department was because the department didn't turn over its 2021 financial books. Williams admits they haven't done that, but is confident in the department.
I'm pretty certain that there's no money missing at this time. Obviously, we haven't had an audit done yet, but I'm pretty certain there's no money missing.
Residents have until October 22nd to sign the petition. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
The U.S. Secretary of Defense and former 10th Mountain Commander spoke out about his thoughts and concerns with Russia's continued conflict in Ukraine. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin sat down last week to speak with CNN. Austin said he believes that progress is being made by the Ukrainians against Russia's continued invasion. He said he believes the change in battlefield dynamics is a combination of a development in the skills by the Ukrainian soldiers and their strategic use of weapons supplied by the U.S. Likewise, the defense secretary responded to alleged nuclear threats made by Russian President Vladimir Putin.
It's an illegal claim. It's an irresponsible statement. This nuclear saber rattling is not the kind of thing that we would expect to hear from leaders of large countries with capability.
Austin spent 41 years in the Army, finishing his career as commander of CENTCOM. Austin served as commander at Fort Drum for 2 years, from August 2003 to August 2015. Time now for our look at the first forecast with Chris Hudson.
Well, Zach, it was a nice day for us today. We saw quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures really weren't that bad. It was just the breezy conditions that we had throughout the day. But as we take a look at that northeast satellite and radar, of course, brought to you by Doors Plus, garage for sales and service in Adams Center. Give them a call at 315-777-8550. We can see some areas still dealing with some cloud cover, but that will be clearing on out as we go through the rest of the overnight hours, which is going to lead way to a cold night for us. We do have a freeze warning in effect for Jefferson, Lewis, and northern St. Lawrence counties until 9 a.m. on Monday, because we are expecting temperatures to get down to the freezing mark for most locations. But will the cold weather continue this week? Well, Zach, I'll have that answer coming up here in just a few.
Thanks, Chris. Colors, patterns, and a change of season were on display in Sackett's Harbor once again this weekend for the 23rd annual Sackett's Harbor Quilt Show. Patchwork on the Porch helps benefit the Hay Memorial Library Community Heritage Program. An array of colorful quilts were on display on porches, local businesses, and select historic sites across the community. This year's theme is a change of season. All of the quilts featured that at the show and reflected that theme.
We have story quilts, and those are quilts from community members. Those quilts each tell a story. about the person that made them, the person who received them, the occasion. It's a wonderful exhibit.
This year's featured artist was Vicki Wilson. The Sackett's Harbor Quilt Show first started in the year 2000 by Teresa Mitchell. No expected increases in property taxes for the residents of the city of Ogdensburg. That's according to a preliminary draft of the 2023 budget. Also included in the draft, no more job cuts. Health insurance costs are increasing, going up for the city by about 19%. As well, more on next year's budget is expected to be discussed at Monday night's City Council meeting. Still ahead on 7 News Tonight, the Bills battle back in Baltimore, while both the Jets and Giants games come down to the last play. And cleanup carries on and continues across the East Coast as the effects of Hurricane Ian continue to be felt in its wake.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Brendan Straub. Weekend weather with Chris Hudson. And your North Country sports with Rob Crone.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are scheduled to travel to Florida to survey the damage Hurricane Ian left behind. The death toll from the Category 4 storm continues to rise as the rescue and recovery efforts continue. Christian Benavides has the latest from Northport, Florida.
While the cleanup gets underway in hurricane-ravaged southwest Florida, residents stuck on the barrier islands off the Fort Myers coast are pleading for help.
We have no power, no phone service, nothing. I'd like a little help to get my home back in shape because I have nowhere to go.
So far, state and federal agencies and volunteers have rescued more than 4,000 people. The Coast Guard says it will help evacuate Pine Island today.
We watched boats, houses, we watched everything just go flying by. We've lost so much at this point.
Although Ian has departed Florida, its aftermath is far from over. Inland, river flooding is a major concern. Orange County deputies rescued this woman after raging floodwaters engulfed her car.
You have residents here who've gone through a lot of hurricanes. This one had more water than any of those hurricanes by far.
Many roadways are impassable, but residents are venturing out, waiting in long lines for gasoline to power their generators, and the National Guard is providing water and food.
We're just here to give whatever they need, and some people come through, they've been through a hard time, so maybe some hugs and some care is all they really need as well.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are expected to visit Wednesday to see the damage. The president has already signed a major disaster declaration for Florida.
In the Carolinas, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and Pawleys Island are assessing losses after Ian brought a massive storm surge and major flooding when it roared ashore Friday. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Northport, Florida.
Chris, what's the North Country first weather forecast going to look like?
Well, we have some cold conditions in the forecast, and we could be talking about some snow in it as well, so details on that coming up next.
Now, tonight's weather.
Well, it was a very nice day for us today. We did see those breezy conditions throughout the day, but the wind starting to die down for many locations, and it is a nice clear night out there. It's going to be a cold night as well. We can see, looking at our North Country cams, not a lot going on as far as that weather is concerned, but the important thing to note tonight is going to be the cold conditions that are going to be developing, and because of that, we do have a freeze warning for Jefferson, Lewis, and northern St. Lawrence County until 9 a.m. on Monday morning, because we are expecting many locations to get to the freezing mark, if not lower than that. But southern St. Lawrence County, the reason that you're not included in this is because, well, you've already had your first freeze, and in fact, you've actually kind of had a couple of freezes by now, where most of us actually have not. So we do have that freeze warning until 9 a.m. because we are expecting that first freeze tonight. Current temperature here for Watertown, 40 degrees, so those temperatures are continuing to drop. We do have clear skies out there with the winds coming out of the east, northeast at 8 miles per hour. They'll continue to die down by early tomorrow morning, but look at these temperatures. Many of us are already flirting close to that freezing mark. That's going to be Ogdensburg there at 34 degrees, 36 Brazier Falls, 36 also Messina, 41 degrees for Lowville, and 40 degrees for Barnes Corner. So temperatures will continue to drop tonight, but early this morning we were at right there in the 40s, but our low so far at 39 degrees. And then today only got up to 56 degrees. We will be a little bit warmer than that tomorrow. We're going to be closer to the 60-degree mark, but still think several locations will struggle to even reach 60 tomorrow, but a lot of sunshine in the forecast. You can see by the time we get towards 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, those temperatures upper 20s, lower 30s, so a very cool start to our day on Monday. So we'll have areas of frost throughout the morning. As we get towards noon, of course, that frost will be melting away because our temperatures getting up into the lower 50s, and most of us get into the mid to upper 50s. Some of us will flirt with the 60-degree mark, but it's going to be hard to reach it. But by Monday at 6 p.m., we can see still seeing quite a bit of sunshine out there, temperatures in the 50s, and then another cold night is in store for us as we go from Monday night into Tuesday. Another freeze likely for many locations. We are in October, so it is, of course, that time of the year where we start seeing our freezes. And then, yes, we even have a little bit of snow in the forecast by the time we get towards the end of the week. So what does that look like? Well, we start the week with a lot of sunshine, temperature than 60, no chance of snow. It's as we get towards Friday night into Saturday, some higher elevations will start seeing that chance for snow coming into the forecast. We're talking very top of the Tug Hill into the Adirondack. So if you're in Watertown, Ogdensburg, Messina, you're not going to see that. It's going to be the higher elevations, early season event, very unlikely to see any accumulation from it, just kind of some snowflakes falling out of the sky on Friday night into Saturday morning. And then, of course, on Saturday, a high of 48 degrees, so a chilly day for us on Saturday, and maybe a few rain showers for those Friday night lights if you're going out to football games here across the North Country. So you might need that rain jacket handy Friday night.
Yeah, I stopped paying attention after you said 68 and sunny on Thursday. I'm going to pretend like you didn't say snow for the weekend.
You know, Rob is behind the camera doing jumping jacks because he's excited for snow.
Look, I'm a skier, but I still want 68 and sunny. We'll be right back after this. Your evening numbers, the daily was 105 and the win for 8168. California has a new law that limits the use of lyrics in criminal court cases in the state. The law comes as part of a bigger conversation around preventing the use of lyrics, specifically in hip-hop music, as evidence in criminal proceedings. Some have called the practice a racist double standard and an infringement of First Amendment rights. A recent case in the state of Georgia involving Grammy Award-winning rapper Young Thug was cited in the proceedings. The California law requires courts to consider lyrics to be as a genre of creative expression. Entertainment giant Disney has blocked its content from being shown on both Dish satellite TV and Sling TV. Millions of Americans are now without the Disney Channel, ESPN, FX, and in 7 major markets across the country, their local ABC station. Disney says despite months of negotiation, Dish and Sling declined to reach a fair market-based agreement. Dish and Sling, on the other hand, claim that Disney just walked away from the negotiation table. Markets affected by the blackout include New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Los Angeles. Disney says it's urging Dish and Sling to continue to try and minimize the ongoing service disruptions. And finally, the iconic Hollywood sign in Los Angeles is getting a major makeover. Crews have already washed it and knocked off all of the rust. They are now in the process of slapping on a fresh new coat of paint. The makeover is right on time as the paint lasts roughly 10 years and the sign was last painted in 2012. The paint mix being used is called Hollywood Sign Centennial White. That moniker in honor of the sign's centennial celebration in 2023. They say it will take up to 400 gallons of paint to finish the job, and it should be done by mid-October. Rob, NFL Sunday, plus we got some action from Saturday with Syracuse.
Yeah, speaking of finishing the job, the Bills, the Giants, and the Jets all finishing the job today, all winning. We'll have highlights and post-game coming up next. Don't go away.
Now your North Country Sports.
It's time for your Toyota Sports Report. The Buffalo Bills looking to bounce back from a disappointing loss to the Miami Dolphins last week, traveling to Baltimore to face Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in a battle of 2-1 teams. First quarter, after a Josh Allen pick, Lamar Jackson shovels to J.K. Dobbins for a 2-yard TD, 7-0 Ravens. Now 7-3 Ravens. Dobbins goes in from 4 yards out, 14-3 Baltimore. Late second, 20-3 Ravens. Allen hits Isaiah McKenzie for the 4-yard TD, 20-10 Ravens. Third quarter, Bills down 7. Allen takes it in from 11 yards out, tying the game at 20. Late fourth, Ravens look to take the lead, but Jordan Poyer picks off Jackson. That sets up this Tyler Bass 21-yard field goal as time expires, and the Bills come from behind to beat Baltimore 23-20.
Good team effort. Obviously got down in the first half, but the guys and coaches both stayed with it, made the adjustments that we needed to make. That was executed, made the plays we needed to make, and put together a good drive at the end. Big stop by the defense.
But our defense, they played outstanding. They gave us a shot in the second half. Our guys put their heads down. They worked. That was a tough fought football game by a very, two tough teams. So give them credit. They had a really good plan going into it, and just found a way.
The Giants at MetLife hosting the Chicago Bears. First quarter, 3-0 Bears. Daniel Jones calls his own number and scores from 21 yards out, 7-3 Giants. Second quarter, now 7-6. It's Jones again, this time from 6 yards out, 14-6 Giants. Fourth quarter, Giants up 8 when Vallis Jones coughs up the punt and the Giants recover. Giants hold on to beat the Bears 20-12.
Tough game, physical game. That's what we thought it would be. And I thought Chicago played physical. I thought our guys played physical. Made a few more plays than they did. Tough competitive game. Good to get another win.
The JETS Jets in Pittsburgh meeting the Steelers. Second quarter, Braxton Berrios hits Zach Wilson for the touchdown. 10-0 Jets. Third quarter, 10-6 Jets. Kenny Pickett dives in from a yard out. Steelers up 13-10. Fourth quarter, it's Pickett calling his own number again. 20-10 Steelers. Under 20 seconds left, Breece Hall goes in from a yard out. 24-20 Jets. Jets hold on to beat the Steelers 24-20.
It always feels good to win this league. I thought our O-line battled. It wasn't exactly the prettiest game, but thought they did a good job battling and held up when we needed to hold up.
It's an ugly win, but some of the most fun I've had playing football. The emotions, the ups and downs, the trying to overcome adversity. I just thought such a cool fight by the guys.
The SU football team moved to 5-0 on the season yesterday with a 59-0 win over Wagner at the Dome. Because of that, the Orange have moved into the latest AP Top 25 poll. Syracuse checks in at 22, and the Orange moved up one spot in the USA Today coaches poll from 22nd to 21st. Syracuse now enjoys an off week before hosting NC State at the Dome, a game SU coach Dino Babers hopes packs the Dome.
Was happy that we had some fans. Can't wait to see us after this break when we come back and we have NC State in the Dome. Really looking forward to having it wild and crazy again, because we do need our 12th man if we're going to continue this run in the second half.
Lots of football news and sports trivia.
Yeah.
Football.
It is football, and I can't believe in October I'd rather be a Jets fan than a Mets fan right now. But yes, when was the last time that the Bills came back from a 17-point deficit to win the game?
It was in 2011. I think it was against the Patriots.
You're right. Snapped a 15-game losing streak against the Patriots. Tom Brady had 4 picks that game. Game-winning field goal by Ryan Liddell.
And it's hard to believe Tom Brady's still playing.
Still on right now, too.
Yeah, he's doing well.
We'll be right back in just a few. Chris, let's take a last look at the forecast.
Well, it's going to be a cold night tonight. We're talking temperatures getting down to the freezing mark for many locations. Tomorrow, I got a pocket full of sunshine because we have a lot of sunshine in the forecast, with those temperatures getting up into the upper 50s for highs.
For Rob, for Chris, thank you. This has been the 11 o'clock news. We'll see you tomorrow.